let's get started. Oh, there we go. Welcome. I hope everyone's going well on this very, very chilly night. We are joined with us with Socks and once again Max, the bed-stealing cat. He doesn't like that name. He absolutely hates it. He's like, well, I like to sleep in this bed sometimes. He's been sleeping in it quite a bit, actually. So, yeah. Socks is not happy. Let's jump into it. So, we got the API sort of down pat, kinda. First sort of proof of concept type of stuff down pat, that we're kinda happy with where it is at the moment. So if I go over API version 0, let's say request for change 1, we've got all the information in here that we require. So we've got change tasks, we've got all the requests for change information. We might order all of this and so forth like that, but we can also go into change tasks in here and level out all the change tasks, and then we can get the single IDs and so forth like that. So we're getting quite close to this being... It's at that point where it's getting feedback. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah. I've just got to log in. And I'm going through the Kanban board. We're going to do some writing tonight. We're going to plan out what we want to do moving forward with NearBeach. We're going to write a blog post about it. It's going to be the... I'm going to nickname it the Final Countdown for 3.1. And yeah, we're just going to sort of discuss our plan of attack at sort of getting towards the end goal. What's our KPIs or targets and so forth like that. In fact, I don't know what KPI stands for. Key Performance Indicator. No, that's not what I want. I want the measure of success. Or something like that. So yeah, we'll figure it out as I'm writing it. Okay, now one thing I haven't done in a while. You guys are going to see quite a lot of administration done tonight, just because I haven't had time to actually do any of this. In the dashboard, am I logged in? I don't know. Let's find out. I am. So we've got current issues 12. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have any planned scheduled bugs at the moment. I do believe those are the same. So CI will actually tell us. Ooh, and we've just hit our first ad break. All right, there we go. And I just realized I don't have my iPad out. Give me a quick second. Sorry for those on YouTube. Yeah, we've got ads on Twitch. That's to stop the pre-rolled ads. So yeah, but when the ads actually happen, we do this so no one misses out on any content. All right, we're live. All right, cool. There we go. Easy done. All right, got the setup done. And we're still 35 seconds to the ad break is done. Let's see if we can solve the vast majority of this cube. Alright, I think 30 seconds have passed by now. There's no way I'm this fast. There we go. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so we're going to jump into these successful builds. We're actually going to look at the artifacts within them. So under artifacts, we just search for index. There it is. And so forth like that. I'm just scrolling down to the bottom of this one. We've got 63% code coverage. It goes down because we've actually added in quite a lot more backend. That is because we've added in all of the API sort of stuff. So when we focus on writing all the unit tests for the API, this number will instinctively go up, back up again. We'll also note that when we start deleting code, when we go to 0.32, it will also instinctively go up because there's less code in the backend. So yeah, fun times. All right. So the next one is, we're picking this one. It's going to be 27. We're just saving and publishing that. I'm not happy that it went down, but that being said, it sort of gives us a goal to sort of increase this a lot more. Yeah, gives me that drive to get it up. One thing which we do want to do with the code coverage in 0.32 is hopefully get up to, I think, 90% code coverage, which I think is a good sort of place to stop or get to. And the reason being is it covers quite a lot, but it isn't overly code coveragey. So yeah, if that makes sense. All right, now under our blogs, we've got this. I'm going to rename this. But first, I'm going to see if I can open this on a single page. There we go. I've got to fix that. I've got to actually sit down with the marketing site and sort of polish up quite a bit of it. There's a few content blocks I want to add in here and all that kind of information. So yeah. All right, we've got that. We're happy with that. That's latest news. We're going to probably rewrite these. We've got the alert block. I'm probably going to rewrite that. That's perfectly fine. All of this, if we save and preview, I'm going to close that. I've got 12 bugs in there. We're going to close that. We're going to close that. All right. Yeah, that picture looks okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of wording. I suck at writing. So first things first, let's get rid of the title. Let's say final countdown for the 0.31 branch. We're nearing the completion of all features. All right, so we are now nearing the completion for all new features we wanted to implement for the 0.31 branch. Actually, I like that. I like that so far. I don't like what is left. Does sort of ask a question and it does sort of bring people in, but I don't like that writing. We're now nearing the completion of all features we wanted to implement for the 0.31 branch. In this blog, we'll outline the. Actually, no. I don't like that. I don't like what is left and what will happen. No. What am I trying to say here? Honestly, don't know. We now nearing the completion of all new features we wanted to implement for the 0.31 branch. The wrap up of this branch is coming in fast and hot. Here are the Here is the plan of attack. All right, cool. A little bit better. He's done, and we've got alert block. This is a working document. There's no items within this or change over the course of time. All right, cool, easy done. All right. And then we kind of want to create. I'm just going to hit save and preview. It's going to open up this page not found. Don't know why. There it goes. That was weird. Okay, cool. I'm going to get Kelly draw out. I'm just going to write some little dot points and so forth like that. I'm also looking at my whiteboard. Hey, I clicked on that and that and then that. What is left to do? All right, we're just randomly placing these around the board. What is the plan for 0.31 during the construction of 0.32? Trust me to put something left that is the longest sentence I've ever written. What is the expected timeline for 0.32? We're going to say 7 months. And that's hopeful. That is very, very hopeful. I'm probably going to bring in numbers for that one. Because, yeah, if memory serves me correctly, it took me 7 months to get out the 0.30 branch. And that was me just absolutely bug fix after bug fix after bug fix after bug fix. It was ruthless. So, yeah. What will the initial build of 0.32 entail? Alright, so give me 2 seconds. I've written a lot of this down on the whiteboard. Alright, what are our goals and KPIs? Alright, cool. The definition of completion for 0.31. That I'll actually put up here. What is the definition goals for a completed 0.31 branch? Easy done. Sorry, give me 2 minutes. I just need to turn on the light. I'll be right back. Hey, buddy. Sorry about that. I'm just organizing stuff. All right, so what is left to do? Now, the good news is I've written this out in a blog post on Discord. However, having it in a central location where I can update the central location would be a lot easier to do. So I'm going to do that. So we have, give me a couple of seconds. I had it in NearBeach dev. I'm just going to, can I close that thing? All right, not a problem. All right. Cool. So, what is left to do? I'm going to put over here. I'm going to color that blue. We're going to create a new one. I'm going to paste all that in. I'm going to color it white and I'm going to make it small. And then I'm going to move that up. Actually, I'm going to make that medium. Actually, you guys can't read that. I'm going to make that large. There we go. And then I'm going to make this larger. What is there left to do? I've just realized a lot of this other stuff over here needs to... All right. Cool. Wait. This is just me writing things out, planning it out, you know. Give me a couple of seconds. If I ever get this edited, it'll be all snappy and everyone will be like, wow, he does things so quickly. But in reality, no, I'm just moving stuff around the screen, taking my own time. Okay. That is a deny. So, going with this, what is left to do? So I've been writing this out. So what I want to do, unit tests for all of these. Now this didn't get saved correctly, so we're just going to do all that. Done the API and unit tests. So we've done the API for the child elements. So we can do that and start doing this. Now, all right, cool. It won't be the only thing that we'll need to actually do. There'll be a bunch of other hang on. Sorry, for unit tests, it's for the API. It's not just this. It's not just the documentation. There'll be implementing feedback. So there'll be implementing feedback for the API, implementing feedback for GDPR, and implementing feedback for the not Gantt chart, for the story points. We also need to implement the story points and so forth like that. So that will go in here too. Got the unit tests. We've got the Swagger. So we'll need to document it, all of the API so everyone can use it. That will... Yeah, we'll have a look at that. I don't want to do too much of the documentation at the start, and the reason being is I want to get some feedback first, implement that feedback, so it saves me having to write the documentation, get some feedback, and then go back and change the documentation. So, yeah. The Swagger and the host, we want to get that hosted. It'll be one of those... it'll be Swagger API, but it won't be connected to an API point. So, yep. Document the testing process for the document changes. So that's just documentation stuff. There'll be also, with 0.32, there'll be a lot of focus on the documentation. We need the documentation out. We need it perfect. We need it to, yeah, we need help with that. So yeah. And story points. All right, I said implementation of story points up there. So yeah, we'll have up here implementation, still to implement. Implement feedback. API testing. API documentation. Documentation. Oh. Actually, we're just going to call this testing. So we've done those. Document any new features. All right, that's broad. And then we're estimating 11 to 14 weeks, so about 32 streams. I'm left for doing this, so I'm gonna say by the start of September, all things considered. There's a caveat in there where I will be having, there could be a chance I'm having surgery. That will push everything out, and we'll notify everyone about that. So it could end up being in November or something like that. So yeah, hopefully not. So yeah, when I get closer to the starting the 0:30, I'll write it. All right, cool. As for the 0:30, we'll be short. All right, cool. So that will be that part. What are the definitions? What do we need to finish up? This. So completion of unit tests for all. Actually, new API. Get 90% code coverage for both backend and front-end code, which will be nice. It'll be also nice for us to start working on the end-to-end tests and so forth like that. So get them automatically set up, running, and yeah, that will be very nice to do. All right, so another completion would be documentation of API is complete. That's it. The idea with this is going from version 0 to version 0 to version 1 should be as seamless as possible. We're trying to get version 0 into that final sort of state. It's version 0 for a reason. It's because it ain't released. We're changing and breaking it every couple of weeks. So yeah. What else would there be? That would be a goal. Complete site test with no breaking bugs. All right, so there'll be a complete site test with no breaking bugs. There'll be some cases where we push some bugs off into the 032 branch, and we'll flag them for 032. And we're already doing that at the moment. So if we go to NearBeach.utrack, we'll go into our issues. We've got current issues. You'll notice that we've flagged 6 of them for the release candidate 1. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be pushing those off to the next release. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. So we'll be fine with that. there's some things we'll fix. So for example, we can't let that stay in this particular version. We'll fix that up. The add object, yeah, we'll fix up as much as possible, remembering that we're still going to support 0.31 whilst we're in the 0.32 development cycle. So yeah. All right. So goals. All features completed. And got appropriate level of unit tests. All right, API documentation. I've already written documentation down for the API. What else do we want? 0.31 branch in a stable point where essentially we just need to release library updates, which we can set to happen automatically. And Dick Critboo, welcome, how are you? How to get a job as a software engineer. I don't have any degree though. That's perfectly fine. It's a good question. I'm a bit tired and a bit distracted, so bear with me whilst I go with an answer. I'm assuming you know how to code. If you know how to code, my recommendation is to start building things, depending on what you want to do as a software engineer. So if you want to build websites as a software engineer, build a couple of websites. If you want to build a game, build a game. It doesn't need to be absolute perfect sort of thing. It just has to be a proof of concept to show that you know those particular skills. And when you go through the interview process, it's also another thing where you'd be like, oh yeah, I built this particular thing. I had this particular problem, so the situation, and I needed to do this. And I ended up doing this particular method to do this, and so forth like that. So you can actually start chatting about your sort of hurdles you had getting your project working and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully that helps. What type of software engineer? Because if you don't know what language you should be learning or anything like that, I'm going to go with web development. My recommendation is to search in your sort of area. And look at what people, React website development. Look at what languages and frameworks people are using. So full stack, UI, UX. This will be modern framework, not modern framework, but what? Oh, proficiency in WordPress. All right, cool. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. If they're using WordPress, React with WordPress. So yeah, just looking at jobs and going, all right, cool. Hopefully that helps. Probably not. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm on a different page. Okay. So, we've got that. I'm just trying to think what sort of goals I can... What are you doing? I can put in here. Alright, so the plan. Support the 0.31 branch until the 0.32.0 release has occurred. Alright, easy done. We could spend a while going through release candidates for 0.32. I do remember last time, I think it was a month we're on release candidates before we actually did the final release and we're like, yay! Yeah, So, support the 0.31 branch until the 0.320 release has occurred. Okay. Weekly releases to make sure all libraries are up to date. And Broken Wing Music, welcome back. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. We are just doing a planning sort of stuff. It's called chat. Okay, yep. Oh, fair enough. Well, welcome back. Hopefully you've been well. We still have socks here. Wait, I'll put on the secret screen and there's socks. She's still here. However, someone stole her bed. Max has decided to join the last couple of streams. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Max stealing her bed. Considering we never seen him up so close before, he's now, he now wants to be part of the stream. So, yeah. And change your name to match or promote your music. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright. Weekly releases to make sure all libraries are up to date. Plus any quick security fixes. Any bugs that can be quickly... any major bugs, major or higher bugs will be fixed. Any bugs that can be fixed on both the 0.31 and 0.32 branch will be fixed. This is just to show people that I'm not giving up on 0.31 branch, so if you do install it and it takes me 7 months to get out the 0.32 branch, you'll still have fixes coming through and so forth like that. I want to guarantee that. Essentially, we won't be doing the release candidates until very late into it. It'll be at that point where we'll yeah, it'll be at that point where I'm almost ready to release and we'll be testing. Okay. So those are the promises I'm going to do. This is where I've got to look up some information. And I've also should implement pagination into this. Okay, so I am going to open up that one. I'm going to open up that one. And I'm going to open up that one. I know I have the information in one of these. Man, that was a long time ago. That was 2 years ago. All right, 2 years ago, we were doing a quick update on 0.30. And 0.30 was, oh, we've hit an ad break. All right, sorry. All those on Twitch been like, hey, all right, what happened? And then boom, ad break. So yeah, for those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch to stop the pre-rolled ads because the pre-rolled ads suck. So yeah, and then we just pause the stream and we do this. You guys get to see me like this. You get to see Socks and Max steal that bed because he likes stealing the bed now. And Socks is like, I don't know where to sit. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's going well on this Friday. I am looking forward to the weekend. I've got to clean the hell out of my house. Yeah, this house needs a clean. So yeah. But it'll be good. It'll be good to clean it. Just organize everything. It'll be sweet. So yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm going to quickly solve this cube. There we go. Easy done. Where are we with the ads? We're about 14 seconds off. All right, cool. Not that far. And then we'll get back into talking about 0.31 and 0.32. And actually writing the plot. Alright, welcome back everyone! So, as I was saying, 2 years ago, we were still in the progress of 0.30. Essentially, that was our attempt at making NearBeach as stable as possible. So I drew a line in the sand when NearBeach is quite unstable. I want to focus on fixing up every single bug and problem inside NearBeach. And yeah, it took me, I think, 7 months. So yeah, fix 40 bugs at this particular point. We were aiming at the end of May for that one, and in the middle of June. However, I have a sneaking feeling that, yeah, 7 months. We hit July. Yeah, I'm just not happy. Alright, so what is our current release? It's been a bit over the week since we've done that. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna say 7 months. So I'm gonna open up this. We are going to say we are expecting this task to take around 7 months. Alright, easy John. Alright, we're going to, what will the initial build? Alright, release of the API version 1. Move all backend calls, where appropriate, to an API call. So there'll be some cases where that one just won't happen. For example, reset password. You don't need an API call for that one. We'll keep that where it is. A couple other things. So, for example, move card and so forth like that. We'll discuss what we want to do. So we could potentially have the backend to handle all that work, which have the API handle all that work. I'm happy for that. However, it's best to discuss it very quickly. Now, the next thing we want to do is fixes to the database to be discussed soon. Code coverage increases. Actually, so what I want to do is I want to say 75% for this. Yeah, 75% for this one. Code coverage increases to 90% for this particular one. Or I'm going to say 85% to 90%. We'll see. We'll see. UI UX fixes to be discussed. Move the front end calls to the API. Yeah, I've got that one. Types in code to be discussed. All right. So the idea here is, on the surface, not much is going to change. Like the UI UX fixes, we'll be sort of planning them. We'll be discussing how we want NearBeach to look, because we never really discussed how we want NearBeach to look or act or react to people, and it's something that needs to happen. I have a feeling that the UI UX fixes will occur throughout the 0.32 branch, not on the first day. The types in code, I've got to ask other people their opinion on the types in code and stuff like that. Is something that I do want to sort of implement, and the reason being why I want to implement it is for any fresh developers, when they jump in, they can look at the types and go, all right, this is going to be the structure of this particular code. This is the structure of this particular data. This is how it's going to react and connect to the system. as we're moving all the backend calls where appropriate to an API call, it just makes sense. At the moment, we've got the API, even though we're editing the API as we go along and stuff like that, which is why it's version 0, we'll have that solidified. And we'll be able to move those calls to the API and then sort of hook it up properly. Which reminds me, up here, what is the definitions of goals? We're going to have API version 0 is solidified. API perfect. And we're going to do a little cheeky smiley face there. All right. Yeah, fixes to the database. So I've been rambling about that for weeks. Yeah, there'll be many fixes to the database. Yeah, we'll also might split the database up. Depends. So there'll be some things to discuss with that. Which is why this documentation we're writing is going to be a heavy document. All right, cool. I'm just going to hit refresh. Reason being is I might have logged out. There we go. We're going to log back in. All right. So first things first. Let's close that. And yeah, that one. Holy hell, I remember writing that vlog. That felt so good when that was released. Okay, where was I? Cool. What is left to do? Oh, wrong one. And I'm just going to move this out for you guys so you guys can actually read it, because I know the chat overlay sometimes interrupts it. So what is left to achieve in 0.31? All right. And then we kind of want to break these down. Oops, that's not the wrong one. I'm going to put this over here for a second. I'm just going to make sure I'm on chat. Yep, all right, cool. I am going to write. Okay. The following tasks. Yeah, tasks. Features, tests, documentation will need to be completed before we start working on 0.32. All right, features to be completed. This will be the story points. And we'll do it like that. So we've got story points. Do I need to write any information about the story points in here? Probably not. But what I want to do is I want to have a look up here. I think I got story points in here. All right. Yes, I do. So we're going to copy the public link. All right. I don't know how I'm gonna. The idea being is I want these cards to be in that sort of that like that. Oops. Nah. All right. Okay, so description. Okay, so story points will be implemented at the following levels, on the following objects. Requirement item, project, and tasks. More information can be found on our Kanban card. And we're just going to highlight the Kanban card. We're going to link that. We're going to go URL is going to be that. And we're going to go submit. All right, I'm going to go update. I'm going to go save and preview. Page not found. Don't worry. That's just an Abraco doing an Abraco thing. We have to see it save and preview again. All right, it doesn't like us. Anyway, so we've got what's left to be achieved, features to be completed, story points of the following objects. Yep, all right, cool, sweet. I'm happy with that. Implementation of the feedback. Okay, so currently we are requesting feedback on the following items. So we'll be requesting feedback on the API, GDPR wizard, and the story points. All right, cool. However, story points we don't actually have at the moment, but it will be put into there. Okay, so currently requesting feedback on the following items, all of those. Okay, cool. Over the next few months, this feedback will shape and guide how these new functions operate within NearBeach. Is it just 1p? No. All right. Rate. Up rate. Not up rate. All right. Over the next few months, this feedback will help shape and guide how these functions operate within NearBeach. All right. Cool. Well, actually, I want to say up here, rel event tickets, and then I want to 342. god, why didn't it do... Hang on. There is a bug. Alright, so I'm going to update. I'm going to hit save again. Cool, it's working that time. Now, you'll notice that the links don't work on here. We are going to fix that up right now, too. So, what we need to do, so relevant tickets, that's going to be part of that, but also that is going to have a color of light blue. And always page not found whenever I do it the second time. Alright, not a problem. But we've got this. So implementation of feedback. Currently we're requesting feedback on the following items. Relevant tickets. That should also be like that. And I think there's a couple more tickets that we've got in here. That's feedback. Oh no, it's just that. Cool. No problem. Okay, so relevant tickets. We're going to open this up right now. We are going to go a new link. We're going to go, all the way up to the top. We've got a couple of high ranking ones. So card. So I'm just going to go type in card that, and I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go and copy that and do that, and then we're going to go to miss. We're going to copy this. We're going to paste it into here like that, and we're just going to hit submit. Now the next thing we want to do is, that's part of feedback, implement pagination like like DRF. All right, this is definitely feedback. So 512. Oh. Easy done. I'm going to hit submit. Sweet. So, next card. API unit tests. We're not going to worry about that. That's not any feedback at the moment. Implementation of Swagger. That's not any feedback. Implementation, the ability for admins to set up the. That's no feedback whatsoever. That is, however, a feature. So we do need to go up here. So story points. I'm just going to bang that down to here. And we're going to write in access to new admin functionality. So yeah, this is something we've actually got to do. So this will be, I think a pick section header. Yep. Features to be completed. Story points. No. All right. No. This is actually paragraph header. All right. Sweet. So, currently the new GDPR wizard and API are hidden functionality within NearBeach. This is because we currently the GDPR wizard and the API functionality are hidden functionality within NearBeach. This is because we are requesting feedback from power users first, and will deploy to everyone soon. How can you contribute something in JavaScript to the project? So the good news is you can actually download NearBeach. It's at GitHub. NearBeach. And you can actually just download this. So a couple of years ago, we set this up. So we saw a bunch of people try and set this up, and it just wasn't an easy process. Nowadays, it's a really easy process. You can actually download the code. If you know Python and stuff like that, you can actually get it running very locally very quickly through VM. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do. Download it, npm install, and then you'll be able to sort of edit the JavaScript and npm run either prod or dev to compile the code. So yeah, that's it. We also got a Discord if you have any questions. I'm hoping Nightbot picks that up in an appropriate amount of time. Last time it didn't. Alright, this is because we're requesting feedback from power users and deploy everyone soon. What needs to be done? The API requires an admin portal to be created. So the users will be able to add and remove API keys. Yeah, cheers, thank you. And I do hope you are enjoying my stream. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. So yeah, welcome. Today we're just doing some planning. It's going to be a short stream. Essentially, we're winding down on the 0.31 branch, which is designed for new features and so forth like that. So yeah, we've got one new feature that we want to do. It will be very quick to do, hopefully. And then what we want to do is make sure we tie up everything in a bow before we start the 0.32 branch, which will be sort of breaking a lot of changes. It'll be a thing. Definitely be a thing. So yeah, we're discussing what we need to do before we actually start that process. And I need to get this all written down in a document so everyone knows what's happening. Okay, so the API keys require an admin portal the API requires an admin portal to be created, so users will be able to add and remove API keys. Easy done. Alright, we are currently discussing where this portal should belong, aka on the user profile or its own, or in its own section. Okay, cool. The GDPR wizard will need to be added to the administration menu. Alright, cool. Alright, so I'm just gonna hit update. I'm gonna hit save and preview. I just want this all saved. So yeah, this is gonna be a big blog post. I can see it already. Holy hell. Okay, so we've got implementation of feedback. So we've got that. I'm just going through the Kanban board very quickly. That's fine. That's a 0.32 object. I'm actually going to move that over. Actually, I'm going to move that into blocked. Currently waiting for us to start the 0.32 branch. It's blocked. All right. There's nothing we can do with that one. That's perfectly fine being blocked. These will also go into blocked. Waiting for the 0.32 branch to start. I'm just going to copy all of that and paste like that. And I'm going to do the same right here. And I am terribly sorry. Omega Kaizen. Hello. How are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Sorry, I just saw your comment just then. Hopefully you're going well. Users can regen new API keys and destroy the old ones. Yes. So that is a very good point. We're not going to let the users actually generate the keys. We're going to let the administration generate the keys. The reason being is if a user leaves a company and no one sort of deactivates that particular user account or something like that, that API key is still functioning. However, this is up for discussion at the moment. So we do have a Discord to discuss it further. So yeah. But yeah, the idea is users won't be generating those, and you'll use the best sort of practice is to create a sort of dummy user that will have the API, and that way you get to the admin will, you know, destroy and handle that API key. So yeah, I'm just going to put those in blocked. That's definitely under review and create, but we're going to put that under completed and archive that. All right, sweet. Implement ability to link requirement items. Oh, I keep forgetting if I've done that or not. Something tells me I've done it. Let's go into a task. Scroll down, link objects, requirement item. Oh, there's no requirement items. Just gonna quickly. Should pull that one. Huh. All right, I need to test that. Because by technicality, that is working. So I'm going to move that over there. By technicality, I'm going to put into here. Test linking requirement item. Hang on. It might be one of those special cases. Give me a couple of seconds. So let's go to a project in progress. Scroll down, requirement links. Oh, I'm in a requirement item. Sorry, I was meant to go into project. Link object. Yeah, I think there's an issue. Test linking requirement items to an object. Currently, when testing, I am getting no values. However, I've got the logic. Alright, we're going to create that card. We're going to scroll up. We're going to add a tag to that because we definitely want to fix it in this particular one. There we go. And we've got ads. Okay. For those on YouTube, we run ads on Twitch every half an hour to stop the pre-rolled ads. They go for about 90 seconds. Don't worry, you won't need to worry about ads. And whilst that's happening, we go into ad. We just do this so no one misses out on any content whatsoever. Easy done. And there's that solved. All right. solved again. Where are we with the ads? About 17 seconds left. Okay, and we have Socks here. She's like, stop. Nope. Drop the camera. Give her a quick little pat. All right, 3 seconds. Let's just get back into it. Welcome back, everyone. So we've got that testing and so forth like that. I'm going to also think about other things that we could potentially get done in this particular version. Like the duplication of cards, that has been requested. I never actually... that can be done in either branch easily. Cards that have checklists, that needs to be designed out. It won't hit this whatsoever. On hover, show card description. That would be nice. Able to zoom out to see the whole Kanban board. Oh, that one. I forgot if Nocturnal brought that one. Alright, sticky button for the Kanban card on tablet and mobile. Oh, yeah. Some of these definitely we want to do. Oh, wait, this is part of the Kanban board. Oh, that put... hold on. Nope, that one hasn't been done. Alright. Yeah, we'll do those. Add priority of items. Hang on, I think I've done that one. No. We don't. All right. That one I'm not worried about at all in this particular one. So we're 032ing it. We're going to place it into here. Blocked, waiting for 0.32 development to start. All right, cool. Oh, create 2FA with 1 password. I remember this. I know who put this in. I need to actually get a key and all that kind of stuff. All right, not happening at the moment. But we have implemented 2FA. I just need to track down getting a key. All right, not a problem. That's not happening till 0.32. Okay, waiting for the 0.32 development start. All right, cool. Easy done. Okay, so we've got a couple of things to do. Give me a second. And Kanban board. Create public link. Oh, the tags don't come through on the public link. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, that will be a bug. Kanban board public link tag cards tags do not show. So it's one thing which we might actually implement Won't be hard to do. We've got the, I believe we can just place in the tag data and it'll handle it perfectly fine. And it's also one other thing is we might move, yeah, this won't be connected to the API at all. So yeah. Sorry. I should update and I should save. Cool. So it keeps me logged in. Alright, so I was writing a bug. Alright, okay, so if a user has access to a public link for a Kanban board and they will not see any of the tags on the cards. Alright, cool. This is priority normal. This is bug. This is submitted. This is assigned to me. This is part of the public links. We're not going to bother with the version at the moment. We're just going to create it and be done and say, all right, cool. That is created. Damn, I was going to like share this with you guys. All right. So going with this, relevant tickets, implement that. So remove that, remove that. So we're kind of happy with that at the moment because we don't actually have any more data to do in here. And then what we want to do is implementation testing. Okay, cool. So the testing will be a section header. And then unit tests. All right. There. Okay. For us to have confidence that we will not break NearBeach when we start development of the 0.32 branch, we will need a lot of unit tests. Our main focus on the unit tests will be, and this is where we do this, API, and we're just going to go projects, requirements, request for change, sprint, task, Kanban cards, requirement items, change tasks, and then we'll go GDPR wizard, and then we'll actually put this in. We're going to put in the story points. Now, should I put this in alphabetical order? I think I should. So change tasks. All right, that should go under there. That needs to go ahead of those two. NOP, QR. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry, just organizing stuff. All right, GPR Wizard story points. So implementation of feedback, testing. We've got all of that to test. I am then going to write in documentation. So one of our core issues at the moment is NearBeach is lacking documentation, especially for any of the new functionality we have implemented within the 0.31 branch. All right, cool. So API documentation, we are currently utilizing Swagger to document all API calls. This requires us to document all that information at the code level. We'll then get a Git action to compile that documentation and host it on Azure. So we've got a static site with Azure. I do believe we just go swagger.nearbeach.org. So yeah, this will be the documentation location. At the moment, we've got nothing on it. The Swagger documentation will hit this and it'll just work. And then we can point people at this being like, hey, go here to learn about the API documentation. So yeah. We want that as a paragraph header. So we're currently utilizing Swagger to document all API calls. This requires us to document all that information at the code level. We'll get GitHub actions to compile and host it on Azure. Currently, the location of the Swagger documentation will be, and then we just post that in. Paste that in like this. We will, over the next few weeks, we will be finalizing this setup. All right, so API documentation and then read the docs. All right, cool. We'll be looking at all different objects. Hang on. We'll be looking at documenting all of NearBeach, both the old functionality and the newly created. All right, cool. Other documentation will include procedures like implementing a test workflow for any Docker changes, i.e. when a new library is implemented in NearBeach. Okay, cool. Instead of two-auth, use key pairs mnemonic. It's easier and secure as hell. I am so sorry. I am wrapped up in this at the moment. For NearBeach, instead of using two authentication, use key pairs mnemonic. It's easier and secure as hell. And hey, Nocturnal, how are you? We need to make user experience within all that's better than key pair file. Instead of shorter strings. I don't even know if that's possible for NearBeach. So yeah, I don't know if that's possible. If there is a library, we could potentially look at it. So yeah. Yeah, I'm also busted with work at the moment. Going good otherwise. Looking forward to the weekend. We are just writing up my plan of attack for the end of 0.31. So yeah, it's that massive post I put in the Discord a few weeks ago. I'm just writing it up here. So yeah. Purpose library, Narok, phase generator, Narok from BIP utils, key phase generator, and cryptology, signing from bit. BIP utils. Sorry, I'm juggling a couple of things at the same time. Oh, I'd say my phone just died. I did too. Shoot. All right. Okay. Omiya, I don't know how I would connect this in with Django and stuff like that. So yeah, we do have a Discord if you want to discuss it. Don't know. Nocturnal. I honestly don't know. Alright. Content saved. Alright, so read the docs. We'll be looking at the documentation on NearBeach, both old functionality and the newly created. Other documentation will include procedures like implementing a test workflow for any Docker changes, i.e. when a new library is implemented in that. Alright. Oh, yep, all good, Nocturnal. I'm assuming you've just got a call. Cool. So the next thing we wanted to deal with, so done the estimate and timelines. So that's actually okay. I'm going to update that. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to create a new. We're going to go to the rich text block. Easy done. Just trying to think of the wording here. Socks, but I'm streaming. Jesus. Look what she's doing on stream. Just cleaning herself. Alright, well, this is a family-friendly stream. Socks. So, yeah. Definitive goals. So, I don't want to say KPIs. Definition of completion. Definition of completion for 0.31. All right. We will be defining the following tasks. All right. The following objectives will need to be completed before we are happy with 0.31. Before we're happy with 0.31. I just got definition of done. DOD for short. Definition of done. All right. I like it. I'm going to keep it. This will be page header. Okay, the following objectives will need to be completed before we're happy with 0.31. All right, cool. Completion of all unit tests, where we're just gonna API version 0 is solidified, all right, it's solidified. No more changes. All feedback implemented. And there will be very few, hopefully none. There'll be very few changes between version 0 and version 1. Yeah, with the idea being that we go, all right, cool, the URL just changes and we're all happy with that. And we move on. I'm just going to copy these because I know a couple of you are chatting. And I'm just going to do that like that. So, that is done. We've just stated that. I will switch these around later. So, completion of unit tests for all new API points. Code, 75% code coverage for both backend and frontend. So that will be that one. Documentation of the new API completed. Documentation of all new and of all functionality completed. So we've done that. Complete site shakeout with no breaking bugs. Oh, no. So in our bug sort of list in here with a priority, we've got normal, we've got showstopper, critical, and major, and I'm thinking no critical bugs. No critical or higher bugs. All. And thank you very much, Zarchip, for the follow. Welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content, even though today we're literally just writing out a blog for NearBeach. I know it's not as exciting as programming, but hey, when you're running in a project like this, you kind of need to sort of tell people what you're going to be doing. So, yeah. And I wouldn't do this by myself. I need to actually talk this out. So hopefully you guys are actually helping. So all new features completed. All new features completed for 0.31, which we've only got one left. So, you know, it's going to be good. I'm not going to put in the appropriate amount of unit tests because we've got that. Documentation, we've got the documentation. All right. Documentation of all functionality within NearBeach, which shouldn't be too hard to do. It's just me sitting there writing it out. 0.31 branch at a stable point. Actually, no, this is a hopeful thing. So we are hoping to get NearBeach 0.31 to a stable point where we just need to release library updates as we develop on 0.32. Develop 0.32. Alright, cool. Alright, so definition of done for 0.30. So, I think this one should definitely belong up towards the top. So 75% of code coverage for both backend and frontend. Version A is solidified. Yep. All right. Cool. I think that will be good here. Completion of unit tests for all API. All right. So I'm gonna put that there. I know it's sort of duplicating what the top is saying. I think it's good enough. Documentation on the new API component documentation. We'll keep the documentations together. Complete site checkout. All new features completed. All right. We're just gonna say almost done. Here. Easy done. So I'm happy with that little section. So I'm just gonna go update. I'm just gonna go save and preview. We're gonna have a quick look at this. So the following features tests documentation will be need completed before start work on that, and then we've got features to complete, story points, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I am happy with that. One thing I should do. Yeah. I should do that with the H3s. Anyway, thank you very much, Lo-Fi Sims, for the follow. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you are enjoying my content as I sort of write our blog post. So yeah. All right. So we've done all that. I'm going to add in another rich text block. And I'm just going to have a quick look at what is the plan. All right, so what is the plan for 0.31 during the 0.32 development? And this is a very important question for everyone. All right. We will still be supporting the 0.31 branch during the 0.32 development. Any users that will that brings us a bug. Any bugs brought up? Sorry. Any bugs brought up in this time? Oh, fair enough. Yeah. We're not done much Python today, so yeah. Hopefully next stream we'll be doing a lot more, especially when we'll be jumping into implementing the story points for NearBeach. So yeah, there'll be a bit of back end that we need to actually do. So yeah. We'll also need to update our API to accept the story points too, as optional fields also. So, getting excited. All right. So, whilst I quickly do this, what is the plan during 0.31 development? We'll still be supporting 0.31 during the any bugs brought to us in this time will be looked at. Okay, usually we're very good. So if a bug comes up by a user, even though it's a very minor one, we tend to put it at the top of the list because it's affecting a user. We don't have many users and we get a couple of people putting in bugs. So yeah, we'll be, any bugs brought up at the time will be looked at and dealt with. All right. We are hoping for weekly releases. All right. During hang on. So we will still be supporting the 0.31 branch during the 0.32 development. Any bugs brought up in this time will be dealt with. the support for the 0.31 branch will occur until the release of the version 0.32.0. At that time, we will request everyone to upgrade to the latest version. There might be caveats to that, meaning if it's a difficult sort of upgrade, we will think about whether or not we continue support for the 0.31 until people have enough confidence in the new version to actually upgrade. I'm hoping it's not difficult. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get people just to hit apply and the migrations will just work and so forth like that. As it's going from 0.31 to 0.32, we will be encouraging people to always back up their data back up everything before they do the migration plan, and we will be labeling it as a major release, potentially breaking changes type of thing. So we hope not. We hope it doesn't break anything. So yeah. Better safe than sorry. So at this time, we'll request everyone to update to the latest version. Okay. During the development of 0.32, we will be doing weekly releases to make sure all libraries required for libraries are updated. This will cover any security issues, aka this should cover any security issues. Actually, that's sort of fine. I'm saying any major or higher bugs will be fixed. If the development team find any major or higher bugs during development, Alright, actually, no, I think that covers what I'm trying to say with... It's condensed. It's good. I like it. I'm going to go update. And we're just going to go save. So I'm going to create a new one. We are going to do a rich text editor. Expected timeframes. All right, cool. No, not valve timing. Wrong one, valve time. Okay, cool. So, expected time frames. Please note these expected time frames could be well off. Though we try our hardest to make conservative guesses at how long a task takes, that task will always take longer. We try to communicate these. And hi, Zombie Star, how are you going? Hopefully you're going well. Welcome, welcome. We're not really programming as much today. We're just working on our blog, detailing to everyone what to expect in the wrap down of the 0.31 branch for NearBeach. NearBeach is an open source project management system, and yeah, we're just writing what we're going to do in that time, and what everyone to expect, and so forth like that. So yeah, yeah. Less of a programming stream today, but that's fine. Okay, so please note these expected timeframes could be well off, though we try our hardest to make conservative guesses at how long a task takes. That task will always take longer. We try to communicate these changes to we are trying to not have any valve time. Okay, we try not to. I could write that better. All right. The task will always take longer. We are trying our hardest not to replicate valve time. And then I've got like a little joke there. It's a little joke. All right, so we are expecting the wrap up for the 0.31 branch to occur early September 2025. All right, so I've given myself June, July, and August to sort of wrap all of these tasks up and get them all completed as best as possible. And what we could do, yeah, that should be enough. 3 months, fingers crossed. Hopefully it doesn't take me 6. So yeah. Most of the tasks are not creating new functionality, but to document and improve existing services, aka API, will need to be both documented and actually no. I'm just going to get rid of that API. We're expecting the wrap up for the 0 to occur. Most of the devices. Yep. All right. Cool. At the start of September, we are hoping to create the 0.32 branch in which we will start development. We expect this development to take around 7 months to complete, which is going to be huge. I am not going to lie, that is a lot of work to be done or get done, and I'm hoping yeah, I'm hoping it can be done in time. This number is taken from our 0.29 to 0.30 release timeline, where we took 7 months to deploy. So yeah, however, this time we'll actually have a version which will constantly be updating and stuff like that. Development. All right, cool. So we're gonna create a little table down here. Oh, I don't have the table things. Oh, that was silly of me. All right, I've got to hit update. I'm gonna hit save. I'm just going into the settings, because I know under the data types we've got the rich code editor, the rich text editor, should be able to add in a table. I don't like how it pops out like that. Alright, so we've got all that. Final countdown. Yeah, I didn't rename that top one. Okay, easy done. Going in here, what we're going to do is we're just going to put in a simple table. It's just going to be table. It's going to be... this will be stage. Date completed, or date started. All right, so story point feature. That will be date started 1st of July 2025. Approximate date started, I should say. And then what we want is approximate date finished. We're actually going to say the 7th of July 2025. It's not going to take that long. I'm just giving myself extra time here. So once that is done, we're going to type in 0.31 branch wrap up. So that's going to start on the 7th of July 2025. That's going to finish hopefully on the 1st of September 2025. And then what we have here is 0.32 development startup. And that's going to happen on the 1st of September 2025. And then 7 months. So September, October, November. September, October, November, December, January, February, March. So we're going to go the 1st of April 2026. And then 0.32.0 release. That will happen on the 1st of April 2026. Okay, cool. Hopefully all of that makes sense. I'm not going to release this article just yet, just because I want to give it a once over. I want to make sure it makes all sense. And IDBD, welcome. How are you going? Sorry, I just saw your message. Hopefully it wasn't, you haven't been waiting for it too long. I do apologize. So, yeah. All right, we're going to create one more last block. All right. This will be the rich text block. This will be initial build of 0.30 will entail. I'm just going to grab all of this. We're just going to paste it in like that at the moment because that's the last of it. I'm going to go page header. Alright, I don't know if he's coming or not. Next ad break, I've just got to run away for a bit. I'll come back. Alright, so our main focus on the 0.32 branch. Actually, no, that's terrible words. So during the development of the 0.32 branch, we'll be focusing on the following items. And then we've got this. So release of the API version 1, easy done. Move all backend calls to the new API version 1. Alright, easy done. This should be up at the top. Fixes to the database, aka generic naming within objects. Generic naming like title and description. Okay, cool. Release of that, move all backend calls, switch to database. Code coverage increase to 85%. I'm going to leave it at 85%. I think that's an achievable goal. If we hit 90%, it might be one of those things where I'm just like trying to get to it, and then I just do silly tests to get to it. I think 85% is good. Okay. Implementing types within the code for developers. UI UX fixes. Okay. And yeah. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to hit update. I'm going to hit save and preview. We're going to hit that problem again. All right, I'm just going to wait a little while. We're going to hit save and preview. There we go. All right, sweet. So, I need to change the color for those. So, implementation of feedback. And we need to get rid of that. That blue. Testing. Alright. Gotta wait a couple of seconds, hit save and preview. Boom. Alright. So, implementation of feedback, currently requesting the following items: API, GDPR wizard, story points over the next few months. This feedback will sharp and got shape. Shape. Oh. All right, so got a couple of cards. Testing. Do we have any card relevant things in here? So we've got all of this. API test, yeah, we do. We're gonna include some of this information. So we're gonna go MISC. We're generating a public key for that. So that would be under testing. Rel event relevant cards. Oh, what do we say above? Relevant tickets. And we just create something like that. We're going to create a link. We're going to go URL is going to be that. We are going to go card 510. And we're just going to grab the API unit tests. I'm going to submit that. We're adding a new one. Implementation. All right, cool. Ooh, this will be for... That's not testing. All right, cool. Gonna update that. We've got the testing, we've got the implementation, promotion. Oops, sorry, I'm just going way too fast. So API documentation. That will be relevant tickets. Oops, hold on. Relevant tickets for documentation. And that's something else. That would be the new features. Story point, Here we go. So yeah, we do want to include all of this information and stuff like that. So you're like, all right, cool. What about this card? So relevant tickets. And this will be card 509. And then it will be this. And then we go into MISC, create a public link. We're just going to click on that. We're just going to click on that. I'm going to hit submit. And then influence swag. That will be for, this will be for the documentation. So implementation of feedback, testing, documentation, event, tickets. Card that, and then what we want to do, implementation of that, and then what we want to do, MISC, got a public link already. I think someone else told me to do this, hence well, there's the public link. We want to update, we just want to hit save. So sweet, so I've done all of those are on there. We want to scroll down, those I'll have a look at, because I think we can push them through, but I don't want to draw add filter. Yeah, we'll push these through. Implementation of story points for job quotation. I think I've done that already. 3, 4, 2. Yep. All right. Sweet. You just need to now color coordinate all of these. Alright, easy done. Oh, nearly screwed up then. Alright, done and dusted. Now, other links on here, like this one, I also want to color that color. Alright. Sweet, update, save and preview. Yeah, it doesn't like that. All right. So, it's looking quite good. I'm quite happy with it. Yeah. Oh, expected time frames. Alright. I'm definitely going to do something like that. We're definitely going to have that like that. And we're going to center those. And we're going to bring that down a little bit more. Width, we're just going to say 80%. 100%. Border width. That's going to look horrible. I'm purposely making it look horrible. Alright. Alright, not too bad. Not too bad. Still horrible. But, it works. Okay, cool. So we've got those particular features all put in there like that. And tail. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna say yay to this. And yeah, I am just thinking. Sorry, I'm just having a quick think. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. Anyway, I'm probably going to call it today. I'm terribly sorry. I'm just exhausted after work. I will get this published in a few days. We'll also need to do our goals for next month, which I'm a bit too tired to do right now. Otherwise, I would be doing it. So yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Let's find out who we can raid. Oh, the private gym is going. All right, let's go. Let's raid. All right. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. It has been wonderful. Yeah, over the next couple of months is going to be pretty exciting as we sort of wrap down with 031. So yeah, it will. This is the time where we'll need as much feedback as possible. Yeah, don't forget to join our Discord, and also if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for coming tonight. I do hope you do enjoy Primegen's stream. So yeah, I'm gonna hit that raid button. Anyway, have fun. And for those on YouTube, thank you very much for coming. Sorry you can't join with the raid, but don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.